Okay. See if that does something. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna turn that back down. Bup. Oh, it was all the way down. I just turned it up. I hear myself, and it doesn't sound like it's in the headphones.
That's what's weird is I know you hear yourself, but you don't hear me.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening anymore. I don't know. I found this setting. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. Hopefully, Leighton. Please. I did it!
I did it. The director mic was off.
Oh, that's gonna, yeah.
No. Well, I did something.
Turn that off, because that might end up recording into the...
I'm watching you. Hello and welcome to Poets Know It. We are coming to you live tonight from Cam Erie on West 12th Street in Erie, PA. I am Thasia Ann and welcome you to the program. It's August already. Can you believe that? There are many opportunities coming up in Erie, so throughout the show, as different poets come up, they will share their details with you. And we are here the first Wednesday of every month at Cam Erie at 5:30, sharing poetry and information about poetry in the area. So just a couple things real quick. September 17th at the Albion Fair, which is the coolest little fair around, from 2 to 3 and from 7 to 8 at the Crafts Barn. October 3rd, will be at KD's Place on State Street for 100,000 Poets for Change, and that's from 12 to 2. And that's poetry about what's going on and positive ways to make the world a better place. And October 10th is Read Poetry to a Child at Werner Books from 12 to 2. And that's wonderful, seeing these kids light up and hearing Shel Silverstein and Cat in the Hat and all those kinds of rhymey things. And it's really fun to see the kids light up and start having an enjoyment for poetry. So I'm going to start. This is a poem that I've had for years, stuck in a bag. And like once a year, I come across it and smile and say, I got to do this one. Once a gentle mother dove wrapped her baby birds in love, set them safely in the nest and taught them love and tenderness, shared her perch upon the fence, taught them work and confidence until her baby birds grew strong, filling their hearts with hope and song. Then one day, Mother Dove wrapped them up with extra love, nudged them from the tree so high, and cried a tear, for they could fly. The author of that is unknown. I've been trying for years to find out who wrote it, but I love it. Thank you. So this poem goes back to when we were all locked down, and then slowly but surely we were allowed to go to certain designated places. And Panos put in an outside patio, and I was able to go get coffee and breakfast. Panos, breeze, a pleasant tease to my hair, coffee on a Saturday morn at open air patio, pleasantries, chatted at table islands. We're all glad to be able to gad about and gab. Breeze, a wonderful reprieve from all our stale air and TV shows in our homes, which we love, but suddenly want to run from just for a little while at Panos. And the last one I will do for now is about Erie's Blues and Jazz Musical Festival that just happened last weekend. So this one is called Hot, Hot, Hot. And I understand it was very hot on Saturday. The sun beats down with the weight of the heat, waves, the scent of hot sausage wafts in the air. But all I care about is being blue. My heart shakes and quakes under the bass line. A Hammond B3 riff just ran up my spine, so divine, along with the ting, ting, ting of the hi-hat that takes me to all of that. Bill, for all this fanatical fun, what is the sum total? $1 bill, you say? Would you say that again? $1 bill and the spare change can arrange covers clever and originals ring with the professionalism of big time. What a time to be had for free. You could see the future of this band and easily land them in the big time. And my brother was in that band. Okay, the next person up, I think I'm gonna call Mary Ellen. Welcome up, Mary Ellen, thank you.
Thank you, Dejan. Hello, everyone. I've got a couple things here. First of all, I just want to remind all you poets out there that the second volume of Iconic, the anthology of Erie poets, is accepting poetry now until August 15th. This is produced at Gannon University, so if you just type in the computer Iconic at Gannon, you'll find where you can do your submissions. So please, we're looking for our Erie poets. Just a big reminder to get your poetry in. I'm going to do a cover from a poet that I just discovered, and I'm really having quite a fun time with her. Her name is Tracy K. Smith. She's the 22nd Poet Laureate of the United States. She is a professor at Harvard. She runs some kind of a program there. I've been reading her book here. It's called Fearless, Poetry in Perilous Times. It's really a wonderful primer for people who write poetry, who want to think a little bit more about why they write, what they write. It's not big academic. It's really written quite well and very, very enjoyable. I'm getting a lot out of that. So then, this is her book. She won the Pulitzer Prize for this book of poetry called Life on Mars. And if you will indulge me, I would love to read. There's one poem here. It's called My God, It's Full of Stars. And there's 5 parts to it. I will not read all 5 parts, but I would like to read at least 2 of the parts of it. This is part number 4. In those last scenes of Kubrick's 2001, when Dave is whisked into the center of space, which unfurls in an aurora of orgasmic light before opening wide, like a jungle orchid, for a love-struck bee, then goes liquid, paint in water, and then gauze wafting out and off, before finally the night tide, luminescent and vague, swirls in and on and on. In those last scenes, as he floats above Jupiter's vast canyons and seas, over the lava-strewn plains and mountains, packed in ice, that whole time, he doesn't blink. In his little ship, blind to what he rides, whisked across the wide screen of unparceled time, who knows what blazes through his mind? Is it still his life he moves through? Or does that end at the end of what he can name? On set, It's shot after shot till Kubrick is happy. Then the costumes go back on their racks, and the great gleaming set goes black. It's number 4. And so I would like to read the 5th part of this too, because I love the whole thing, but this is also extraordinary. When my father worked on the Hubble telescope, he said they operated like surgeons, scrubbed and sheathed in papery green, the room a clean, cold, and bright white. He'd read Larry Nevin at home and drink scotch on the rocks, his eyes exhausted and pink. Those were the Reagan years, when we lived with our finger on the button and struggled to view our enemies as children. My father spent whole seasons bowing before the oracle eye, hungry for what it would find. His face lit up whenever anyone asked, and his arms would rise, as if he were weightless, perfectly at ease in the never-ending night of space. On the ground, we tied postcards to balloons for peace. Prince Charles married Lady Di. Rock Hudson died. We learned new words for things. The decade changed. The first few pictures came back blurred, and I felt ashamed for all the cheerful engineers, my father and his tribe. The second time, the optics jibed. We saw to the edge of all there is, so brutal and alive, it seemed to comprehend us back. Thank you. Tracy Smith, very, very worth finding some of her poetry and reading it. She's really, I'm finding her extraordinary, and it's a great fun book to read. So now I'm going to read a poem of my own, which seems ridiculous after reading such a wonderful thing. But I did write this poem recently, and I would like to give credit to my friends who go to a workshop once a month at Mercyhurst University. It's the second Wednesday. Thank you, folks. Second Wednesday of the month at 6 o'clock on the second floor of Old Main, with Professor Greg Brown kind of leading us. And what we do is we're working on a poem, we take it, and we read it to our group, they look at it, and they give us feedback, which really is quite helpful. So this poem has been mutated several times, but it kind of fits in with what Tracy Smith was talking about the universe. So my poem is called Time Travel. The din of helicopter blades slices silence and daylight. Our pilots assure safe passage, no time to turn back. Anticipation rises with us heavenward. We are airborne angels. An endless expanse emerges below. Crater-created rock formations, barren land of nomads and ancient wise men, star followers on dromedary. Baptized by desert sand, we are trailblazers graced by grit. Time passes as dusk arrives. Our descent halos a landing pad, a wind-carved sand stage. The iron bird departs, silence settles. Our feet press holy ground in slow motion. We are moonwalkers bathed in cosmic mystery. Faith takes us into ever deeper darkness. Our eyes adjust. A campsite beckons. Bordered by barely visible tripods, greater eyes at the ready. Night intensifies. We are time travelers. The emblazoned sky takes away our breath. Infinite galaxies intoxicate our senses. Our ancestors have summoned us. We are stardust. Thank you. that was a real experience that I had. Never a forgetful experience. Okay, here we go. Teresa, can you come on up and let's talk about Shel Silverstein? Yeah, we've got a great event happening. She's got the poem. Yeah. So I'm inviting Teresa Testrake, who is going to be directing a wonderful production of Shel Silverstein. You're calling it The Whimsical?
The Whimsical World of Shel Silverstein. Oh,
Go ahead.
okay. So anyway, folks, this will be a wonderful show for families, for teachers, for children. It will be at PACA, 1505 State Street on Saturday, August 22nd, and that will be an evening performance at 7:30 p.m. There's also a matinee the following day, Sunday, August 23rd, at 2 p.m. It is a fundraiser for the renovations for PACA, so there is no cost. If you wish to give a donation, they will be welcome. But my friend Mary Ellen here is going to be playing a prominent role, and and we just want to invite you all to come. It will be a wonderful time. Thank you.
So I'm especially excited about this because I used to read Shel Silverstein to my kids all the time when they were little. Such a fun poet, fun for both kids and adults. And his books have illustrations that are hysterical, so we would laugh a lot as we read them. And what I would like to do is to read one of his poems. I'm actually going to read this poem, I believe, at the event. It's from his book, Where the Sidewalk Ends, and the poem is the same name as the book, Where the Sidewalk Ends, by Shel Silverstein. There is a place where the sidewalk ends, and before the street begins. And there is the grass grows soft and white, and there the sun burns crimson bright, and there the moonbird rests from his flight to a cool in the peppermint wind. Let us leave this place where the smoke blows black, and the dark street winds and winds and bends, past the pits where the asphalt flowers grow. We shall walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and watch where the chalk white arrows go to the place where the sidewalk ends. Yes, we'll walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and we'll go where the chalk white arrows go. For the children, they mark, and the children, they know the place where the sidewalk ends. Thank you. Okay, you want to do fun? And there's a couple other people here who are going to be in the production too, right?
Two poets who are going to be reading tonight. Chuck Joy is also going to be in this production, and the renowned Mr. Gary McHenry, right? I'm sorry, he'll tell you. He's going to be in it too. And I'm also going to read a poem. This will be read as part of the show. Okay, and it's called The Yippee Yuck. Oops, hold on just a second. I'm going to have to take my glasses off. In the swamplands long ago, where the weeds and mud clumps grow, a yippee yuck bit on my toe. Exactly why, I do not know. I kicked and cried and hollered, "Oh!" The yippee yuck would not let go. I whispered to him soft and low. The yippee yuck would not let go. I shouted, "Stop! Desist!" and "Whoa!" the Yip-Yuk would not let go. Yes, that was 16 years ago, and the Yip-Yuk still won't let go. The snow may fall, the wind may blow, the Yip-Yuk will not let go. The snow may melt, the grass may grow, the Yip-Yuk will not let go. I drag him around each place I go, this Yip-Yuk that won't let go. And now, my child, at last you know exactly why I walk so slow. Oh. Okay, so I am going to read. This is a poem that I just discovered recently. I was going to read another poem, but I can't find it on my phone, so I'm going to read this one. And this is by James Dickey, and I believe he was the man who wrote the novel Deliverance that was made into the movie. And sort of he's a novelist and a poet who's sort of kind of gone out of fashion, but he's an incredible poet. And this is called The Sheep Child. Farm boys wild to couple with anything, with soft wooded trees, with mounds of earth, mounds of pine straw, will keep themselves off animals by legends of their own. In the hay tunneled dark and dung of barns, they will say, I have heard tell, that in a museum in Atlanta, way back in a corner somewhere, there's this thing that's only half sheep, like a woolly baby, pickled in alcohol. Because these things can't live. His eyes are open, but you can't stand to look. I heard from somebody who, but this is now almost all gone. The boys have taken their own true wives in the city. The sheep are safe in the West Hill pasture. But we who were born there still are not sure, are we? Because we remembered in the terrible dust of museums, merely with his eyes, the sheep child may be saying, I am here in my Father's house. I, who am a half of your world, came deeply to my mother in the long grass of the west pasture, where she stood like moonlight, listening for foxes. It was something like love from another world that seized her from behind, and she gave, not lifting her head out of dew without ever looking, her best self to that great need. Turned loose, she dipped her face farther into the chill of the earth, and in a sound of sobbing, of something stumbling away, began, as she must do, to carry me. I woke, dying. In the summer sun of the hillside, with my eyes far more than human, I saw for a blazing moment the great grassy world from both sides, man and beast in the round of their need, and the hill wind stirred in my soul. My hoof and my hand clasped each other. I ate my one meal of milk and died. Staring from dark grass, I came straight to my Father's house, whose dust whirls up in the halls for no reason, when no one comes, piling deep in a hellish, mild corner. And through my immortal waters, I meet the sun's grain's eye, and they fail at my closet of glass. Dead, I am most surely living in the minds of farm boys. I am he who drives them like wolves from the hound bitch and calf, and from the chaste ewe in the wind. They go into woods, into bean fields. They go deep into their known right hands, dreaming of me. They groan, they wait, they suffer. Themselves, they marry, they raise their kind. Poem. This is a poem that I wrote about a very dear friend of mine. And the poem is called Crockett. Some of us are born on Oahu Island, some in East St. Louis, Illinois. Some of us are brown, some exceptional typists, some uncomfortably white. Crockett, you eat odd salads and all kinds of interesting men. You travel to the Arctic in November because you need cold and are bored with Brooklyn. Some know the fields we come from. Some are brown pearls plucked by an odd, interesting mother from an unknown shore, and become more like her than we know. So I begin to wonder, Crockett, in the sowing of our 7th decade. My friend who remembers me when I was beautiful, my friend of a semi-century, do you remember who we are? When you go to Thailand or South America or Santa Fe, New Mexico, what secrets go with you sleeping in the brown leather satchel that goes everywhere with you? Crockett, do you remember your father? Do you remember Ivory Soap and Aurora? So I may remember. Do you remember Indiana, Long Beach, or San Francisco? Have peace in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, dearest friend. Go write your stories, your beautiful poems. Go pluck them from the forgotten places of you. Go remember. Write until you are done writing, until you remember all that needs to be written, until you rise from some pasture, full grown, full ripened, and exceptionally born. Poem.
Thank you, Teresa. That was awesome. So we spoke at the Albion Fair and the opportunities to go hear poetry there. I have lived out in that area on and off since the 1970s. And from the time I moved out there on Crane Road was this incredible sepia barn. And you could tell at that time in the 1970s that it was being ignored. So I drive by it every time I go to the fair, every time I go to visit friends and so on. So I'm just going to do the sepia barn poem. Sepia barn with old world charm, waits with wonder, why no animals wander under. It is leaned precipitously in the deliciously warm sun. I drive by at semi-annual intervals, expecting to be saddened by piles, yet remain gladdened that time and again it remains a domain for small creatures. Held high on hand-hewn beams, put together like the seams of my favorite quilt. It all falls in my lifetime. I'll be plagued by guilt. that I couldn't save or buy or rebuild it. And it is down. It's been down for 2 years. Thank you. I found this little tiny pine cone in my backyard, and I was just sitting there, the dog at my feet, relaxing, which is a welcomed event in our house when he's relaxing. And I was looking at this little tiny, tightly woven pine cone, and suddenly it just hit me. Pine in tight cone, skinny and unwilling to open, reminds me of my mother, having been traumatized in her youthful years, not willing to trust or welcome in newcomers, her guard in sentry mode. Her heart sometimes seemed of brick, became thick and protective, kept her strong, but gave out in the long run. 3 cardio episodes. The final one became the final one for my tight pine cone mom. All right, next up, I think we're going to get out of the female mode and we're going to go to Dr. Chuck Joy. Woohoo! Here he comes, the Chuck Joy.
Thank you, Thasia. That must be some guy. I have 3 poems for tonight, each of them accompanied by poetry news from the past, present, and future. So let's begin with the future. Poetry news from the future is that on August 27th at Werner Books at 6 p.m., Chuck Joy presents Miles Budimir. I'm Chuck Joy. Miles Budimir is an accomplished poet from Cleveland. I met around North Coast Voices, and he wanted to read in Erie. And the whole point of Chuck Joy Presents at Werner Books is for poets who want to read in Erie. So that'll be on August 27th and at 6 p.m. at Werner Books. I'm going to read his poem. Miles wrote this poem, and it's the one that appears in North Coast Voices. It's called Lake Erie Beach, Late Summer. Waves lap the shore as a monarch floats past, and cicadas send forth their love calls. An old white couple fix their fallen beach umbrella while a large family, women in Islamic headdress, stands by the shore taking selfies. Boys playing soccer on the sand, shouting, "Mashallah." What does this blue inland sea of ours say to them? What do these darkening pre-autumnal clouds portend? These infinite grains of sand, errant feathers, sea, a tentative blue. Morning in America, history and echo. Listen, stay. You belong here. Make yourselves a home. Thank you. Miles Budimir, August 27th, Werner Books. Now, poetry present. Coming up is St. Paul's Italian Festival. That'll be this coming weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's a lot there. There's a beautiful church, a procession, there's fine food and legal beverages, gift shop, and yet I don't think there's any poetry. And I was thinking about that, and I decided to take care of it right now. No fooling around with the St. Paul's Festival. They're very busy. So you can do this in poetry. So here we go. This is going to be poetry at St. Paul's. Thank you, Father, for the fun introduction. I'm proud to voice poetry from this marble pulpit. One poem, a short poem. I'll make it up as we go along. I don't intend to try your patience. A favorite quality of poetry for me, poetry can be real fast. You get the whole thing all at once. So, enjoy a glass of wine. Try a meatball sandwich. Stand together at a high-top table in the parking lot. It's all a dream. Thank you. And now poetry past. Poetry news past. Poetry. I'm going to read the poem, The Maybe Rain Out Blues. Maybe you've heard this before. This poem's been around a long time. It's even been produced with music. Here at Cam Erie, I'm eager to say that this was performed with music by Kurt Salmon in the past as Enhanced Poetry and me, and also with Exploring the Border with Dick Thompson and Michael Prester, Jimmy Cuneo, Monica Egres, Alice Crockett, and others. So I'm going to read it today, and it's on my mind for two reasons. One, another group of musicians have turned this into a song. I think Paul Rogers and maybe John Settlemeyer might know more about that. And also, there was poetry at the Blues and Jazz Fest on Sunday, and if you weren't there, you missed a tremendously suspenseful event due to the threatening weather. I don't think you could get much closer to having the thing canceled. And so, while this poem, The Maybe Rain Out Blues, is ostensibly about baseball, that day, more than any other day, it was also about outdoor poetry events. And pretty exciting. So here we go. The Maybe Rain Out Blues. I heard the weatherman this morning. He said rain was on the way. I pray he is mistaken. I'm going to the game. I've got the Maybe Rain Out Blues. It's made a fool out of me. Don't talk to me. I'm busy. I'm busy worrying. I've got a couple tickets. Oh yeah, I've got a date. I got a wallet full of money. I think you get the picture, honey. I've got the Maybe Rain Out Blues all over me. Don't talk to me. I'm busy. Busy worrying. Some people wait for Christmas. Some people wait for love. Me, I wait for baseball. I've even got my glove. I've got the Maybe Rain Out Blues. It's like I'm there already. I can hear the people cheer. I can see the players playing. I can taste the beer. I've got the Maybe Rain Out Blues all over me. Don't talk to me. I'm busy. I'm so busy. Worrying. Thank you. Thank you, Thasia.
Thank you, Chuck. That's one of my favorites of yours because you get so animated. All right, next up to the mic, I think I see Jane out there. Well, come on down. We still have several poets, so hang on to your seats.
Thank you, Thasia. First one I'm going to read is from a book, Picture This Anthology, which has been out for a few years. It was put together by our last poet laureate. Maybe not. Next to the last, yeah. Marissa Marks Unger. And anyhow, I wrote about the lighthouses, and today I was scrolling through the news, and apparently this Saturday, I believe, August 7th, from 10 to 5, the Presque Isle Land Lighthouse and the Land Lighthouse, both of them, are going to be free to go up into the tower. It's in honor of National Lighthouse Day, I believe. So all you have to be an adult. They do have a requirement, and you're supposed to bring proof of county residency. So if you live in the county and you want to go up in a lighthouse, Saturday's your day. This is called Sisterhood of Light. From brick, iron, and stone they rose. Alone each was crafted. Alone they still stand. A trio of lighthouses assigned to solitary posts where the land meets water. Lake Erie's, that is. A beautiful lake she is, but know her enticing charm can become a deadly, raging tempest at any moment. Yet no matter the weather, the trio stands strong and unwavering. For over a century, these three have faced the ugliest storms Lake Erie can muster. Yet today, still serve those whose only intention is to arrive home safe and sound. Beacons of light, these three, like old friends with outstretched arms, welcoming loved ones home. They remain the Sisterhood of Light. Thank you. And then this is, couldn't remember what I brought. Another outdoor one, The Wooded Trail. It'll take you on a little adventure. Seeking solitude, the familiar path offers much needed respite. Anticipation of the destination gives me extra spring in each step taken. Walking among the giants of the forest, I feel very much at home. I have been so long in the woods, all the trees know me, and I them. I stop to take in the brilliance of the leaves, having turned the forest into a tapestry of oranges, fiery yellows, and reds. There isn't an artist in the world who could paint such beauty. Resuming my quest, I come upon a newborn having just sprouted the day before, struggling to reach the sky. I gently brush aside a large fallen leaf whose shade denied the youngster of much-needed sunlight. With the barrier now removed, it stretches upward to a much brighter future. Squirrels run amok from tree to tree like ricochets, zigzagging to and fro. I could watch their frolicking for hours, but I move on. I come to a fork in the trail where a large, mighty oak stands at attention. Its presence leaves me in awe each time I visit. I inhale the oxygen it exhales and continue my travels. Passing a red maple, I am saddened to see it splintered and scorched, a victim of lightning from last night's storm. Though the world moves on as if nothing has changed, I am wiser knowing there is less air for the living to breathe. Suddenly I stop to watch a large doe quietly walking nearby. On alert, her ears stiffen as she sniffs the air before cautiously moving on. I am captivated by the beauty and grace of deer in the wild. This one, no doubt, had just quenched her thirst from the nearby stream. Thanks to last night's storm, it was much larger than its usual trickle. It amazes me how a brooklet can evoke such a calming atmosphere. The flat rocks I strategically placed in the creek bed on my previous visit were as I left them. I take a sip from my water bottle before crossing over. Here the terrain changes. Gone is the gentle slope and the forest floor of earthen leaves. The ground, now rocky, makes my footing unstable. I begin to rely on my hiking stick to maneuver the steeper grade. The trees are fewer, allowing a much appreciated cool breeze to caress my face. Sunbeams slice through the ceiling of clouds, highlighting the valley below. Smiling, I take my last step. There are no words to describe the beauty which lie before me. This is my heaven on earth. Thank you. That's it.
So much it made me sleepy. She has me so relaxed from her walk that I'm sleepy. All right, the next one up is going to be Gary. Come on down. The price is right.
A couple things happened in my neighborhood recently. My next door neighbor's granddaughter gave birth to a baby girl, and the woman on the corner moved into a nursing home. So I had the beginning and the end to look through the archives for. If youth knew. When I was young, ignoring the talk by my parents and the sex ed classes in my Catholic school, and privy only to the bragging and teasing of my friends, I was lucky not to have contracted any diseases or created any pregnancies during that time of sexual experimentation. When I grew up, beyond my family, friends, and neighborhood, to witness childhoods in a variety of families, single parent, two parent, multiple, adoptive, foster, with grandparents and other relatives. When I grew up to witness the advantages and the limitations of extreme poverty and excessive wealth, to witness the results of conception by love and commitment or accident and obligation, I began to wonder, what kind of dad would I be? When I set out to discover myself, what I could do, ride a bike, drive a car, sing, dance, entertain, skate, swim, ski, write, paint, create, build, what I could believe religiously, philosophically, what I could feel, success and failure, love and hate, where I could go, Banff, Copenhagen, the moon, what I could learn, science and history and languages. When I set out to discover myself, I came to understand that growing never ends. When I amassed enough wealth, knowledge, experience, money, to be able to provide a proper foundation to allow my kid to launch beyond myself, I realized one lifetime is not enough to prepare for having kids. I should have had kids when I was young, dumb, and broke. Oh, and then when getting old. Don't skip the class about mastering the fall. Learn to pay attention to the feeling of catching your foot on the rug or the cord. Know what's coming next. The top of your body will keep moving, but your foot will take its time to correct. You'll go down because the delay will cause imbalance. Try to protect your hips. You don't want to have to molder away for months or years because your skeleton can't hold up the rest of your body. The blob of it will keep on breathing, pumping, and digesting, while other people wait on you because they love you or they're getting paid. Better to smash your head on the corner of the coffee table and get out quick.
A fast escape, huh? I'm going to do one more, and then our next poet, a really close friend of mine. I'm very happy to see her in the back of the room. So you can get ready to come up. I will remember I will always remember that my past does not define me. My purpose and precision, like a blacksmith fire, will refine me. I will always remember I am worthy and that my need is to guide and expand and swell my gifts of earned and learned shared experiences to the point that others feel finished and fine. All right. Next up is Lucetta Manis, making her way to the front. There she is. You have no idea what it's like to make your way through the dark studio.
I only have one poem tonight. This one's untitled. Control, Alt, Delete. Control, Alt, Delete. It's alarming and both fascinating how our thoughts work. Sensory overload of traumatic experiences like the programming of your brain. Damaged are the files. They're all aired. Control is a sinister spirit. Like a dog on a leash. The dog is smarter than the master, actually, who is holding the chain. But control is a strong delusion of the illusion of power. The heartbreaking shame in the allowance of control is quite apparent. Manipulation made this all possible. Altering the reality of what is real and what is not. Altering depth and truth and perception. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. Is it the hope for better? Is it that the Calvary is finally freaking coming? Or is it the train with the light on, traveling at high speed, ready to hit you head on like you don't even matter? Is it the beginning, birth, or death's end? Delete the pride and eliminate the hurt. Delete the toxicity, which keeps the soul stagnant in growth and light. Delete the chains binding the process of healthy thoughts, and delete what blinds us from visualizing outside the box. Delete unrealistic expectations set by others who never once knew what it is like to actually be free. Freedom. Doesn't that sound soothing? Control, Alt, Delete. Control, Alt, Delete. Thank you.
All right, now I need to ask if there's anyone running a camera that would like to come up and read. Okay, not tonight. Is there anyone else in the audience that has a desperate need to read? Okay, then I'm going to end tonight on some fun stuff. I just happened across a poem that came pre-bear. And then I have one post-bear. Pre-bear, hunter over fences. There are those occasions when I want to rein in the exuberant mare named Love. She rears up and gallops over the fence of my teeth as my tongue slides over her back to slip out, "I love you." She has been running far too free of late, for she has not been caught by a handler willing to stand there and say, "Easy, girl, I'm here. I love you." And this is now. My knight, the true soulmate, the one who walked in and taught me that my terrible past had passed. We had years of love and laughter, and then 2020 came in with a sledgehammer and splintered our easy peasy life. COVID and diabetes, stroke, cancer chemo surgery testing, cancer chemo surgery testing, cancer chemo testing. And if we want more bad news, it's time for the turmoil to snooze. We would like a break while at the same time knowing how blessed we are to just have and to hold my knight, my true soulmate. All right, so next month we will be here on September 2nd at 5:30 at CAM on West 12th Street, and you too could get on camera and read your poems. You too could sit in the audience and listen. It could be a lot of fun. So we're hoping to see you here. And one of the great things about Poets Know It is that you can view the episode later in several ways. You can watch it on Facebook later tonight or tomorrow, and then it ends up on YouTube under Cam Erie. So that is a really exciting part for me, is that we can share it with our family members and friends who can't be here. So we are at the end of our time for this evening, and I want to thank you all for joining us and everybody in the audience for participating, because Poets Know It wouldn't be a whole lot of fun if it was just me. So I hope next time you'll come on down and join us at Cam's studio. And actually, this is me saying Poets Know It is out.
Of Dead Sleep, and you're watching Style City Music Presents.
Hi y'all, it's Nana and Tinka from American Blonde, and you're watching Style City Music.
Good afternoon, Style City Music presents.